What if history isn't just a collection of dates, names, and events, but something deeper, woven with invisible threads that connect people and moments across centuries? Imagine for a moment that every strange alignment, every coincidence, is not merely a random occurrence, but a signpost pointing to a larger, hidden design. It's a tantalizing idea that beneath the surface of what we know, there lies a cosmic blueprint, meticulously connecting the dots of our shared past. We start by looking at the events that have always seemed too strange to be mere chance. Take the story of Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, two presidents separated by nearly a century, yet whose lives and deaths are eerily intertwined. Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846, Kennedy in 1946. Lincoln became president in 1860, Kennedy in 1960. Both were assassinated on a Friday, in the presence of their wives, by a bullet wound to the head. Their successors were both named Johnson, Andrew Johnson and Lyndon Johnson, born exactly 100 years apart. These facts feel more like clues than coincidences. Are we simply pattern-seeking creatures, desperate to find meaning in chaos? Or is there something else at play? Consider the Titanic, the unsinkable ship that met its tragic fate in 1912. 14 years before the disaster, author Morgan Robertson wrote a novel titled Futility, telling the story of a ship called the Titan, which, like the Titanic, was deemed unsinkable, struck an iceberg in April, and sank with massive loss of life due to insufficient lifeboats. The similarities are uncanny. Was Robertson's fiction a premonition, a warning, or just a remarkable coincidence? The more we peer into history, the more these echoes reverberate. But these are just the stories we know, the ones that have become legends in their own right. Dig deeper, and the web becomes even more tangled. The story of J.G. Tierney and Patrick Tierney at the Hoover Dam is one such example. J.G. Tierney was the first person to die during the construction of the dam on December 20th, 1922. 13 years later, to the day, his son, Patrick Tierney, became the last person to die building the dam. The odds of such a parallel are staggering. It's as if fate had marked those dates, binding father and son in a narrative so precise it defies logic. Then we come to the remarkable tale of Anthony Hopkins, the actor, and his search for a rare book as he prepared for a film role. The book was all but impossible to find, out of print and lost to time, until, by sheer chance, Hopkins discovered a copy left on a train bench. The book had been forgotten by another man who, unbelievably, shared the same name, Anthony Hopkins. Even more astonishing, this Anthony Hopkins was related to the book's author and was on his way to return the book. The layers of coincidence here stretch belief, as if a hidden hand had orchestrated the meeting. What do these stories mean? Are they simply the result of probability, or do they hint at something more profound? Dr. David Spiegelhalter, a renowned statistician, argues that given enough time and enough people, unlikely events are bound to happen. Our brains, he says, are designed to see patterns, even when none exist. To us, these coincidences feel significant, but in the grand scheme, they are inevitable. It's a comforting explanation, but it doesn't quite satisfy the itch that these stories provoke. Carl Jung, one of the 20th century's most influential psychologists, offered a different perspective. He introduced the concept of synchronicity, a meaningful coincidence that cannot be explained by cause and effect. Jung suggested that these events are causal, connected by meaning rather than by physical laws. In his view, synchronicities are glimpses into the workings of the collective unconscious, hints that our reality is shaped by forces beyond our comprehension. To Jung, the universe speaks in symbols and patterns, and those who are willing to listen might uncover truths hidden in plain sight. If synchronicity is real, then what are these historical echoes trying to tell us? Are they evidence of a grand design or simply an invitation to look deeper, to question the nature of reality itself? Some believe that these patterns are the universe's way of communicating with us, guiding us toward greater understanding. Others see them as reminders of the inherent mystery that lies at the heart of existence. Either way, the stories remain, challenging us to reconsider what we know about fate, chance, and the fabric of history. The more we explore, the more we find. In the annals of history, there are countless tales that defy explanation. Take the case of Violet Jessup, a stewardess and nurse who survived the sinking of not one, but 3 ships: the RMS Olympic, the RMS Titanic, and the HMHS Britannic. Each of these vessels was a sister ship, and each met disaster at sea. Jessup's survival is remarkable, a testament to luck, or perhaps something more. Or consider the story of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, whose assassination in Sarajevo sparked World War I. The chain of events that led to his death was a tapestry of coincidence. On the day of the assassination, the Archduke's chauffeur took a wrong turn, bringing the car directly in front of Gavrilo Princip, the assassin, who happened to be standing at a cafe having just given up on his mission. One wrong turn, one moment of chance, and the course of history was forever altered. History is filled with these moments, tiny decisions, chance encounters, and odd parallels that shape the world in ways we can scarcely imagine. They invite us to ponder: are we the authors of our own fate, or are we characters in a story written by a hand greater than our own? These questions have fascinated thinkers for centuries. The ancient Greeks believed in the concept of Moira, or fate, the idea that the path of each life is predetermined by the gods. Modern science, on the other hand, insists on randomness and probability, viewing coincidence as an inevitable byproduct of large numbers. Yet the stories persist, whispering to us from the shadows of history. As technology advances, our ability to detect patterns has only increased. Today, algorithms sift through vast troves of data, uncovering links that would once have gone unnoticed. We find connections between people separated by continents and centuries, stories that mirror each other in uncanny ways. The more we look, the more we see. But does seeing a pattern make it real? Or are we simply victims of our own desire for meaning? Some argue that these stories are psychological phenomena, the result of cognitive biases like the clustering illusion, which leads us to see groups and patterns where none exist. Others claim that the universe is fundamentally interconnected and that these echoes are windows into a deeper reality. Quantum physics, with its strange and counterintuitive laws, suggests that particles separated by vast distances can become entangled, their fates linked in ways that defy classical logic. Could the same be true of people and events? The question lingers: is history a tapestry of random threads, or has it been woven with intention? Are the stories of Lincoln and Kennedy, the Titanic and Titan, the tyrannies at Hoover Dam, Anthony Hopkins, and the Forgotten Book merely accidents of chance, or are they signposts pointing to a hidden order? If we accept the possibility of synchronicity, then every coincidence becomes an opportunity, a chance to peer behind the curtain and glimpse the workings of fate. Perhaps every strange alignment is a message, a cosmic breadcrumb inviting us to look closer, to ask deeper questions. What is the nature of time? What does it mean to be connected? Are we bound to repeat the same patterns over and over until we learn the lessons history wants to teach us? For those who have experienced powerful coincidences in their own lives, the stories resonate. Who hasn't run into an old friend in a faraway city or found themselves thinking about someone just moments before receiving a call from them? These moments feel charged, imbued with significance. They remind us that the boundaries between past and present, between chance and destiny, are thinner than we think. Skeptics will argue that these connections are statistical inevitabilities, nothing more. They'll remind us that with billions of people and endless possibilities, strange things are bound to happen. But even the skeptics must admit that some stories are so precise, so tightly woven, that they beg for explanation. The search for meaning in coincidence is perhaps a fundamental part of what it means to be human. We are storytellers by nature, driven to make sense of the world around us. When history offers up a mystery, we cannot help but try to solve it. We look for patterns, for clues, for hidden messages. We ask ourselves, what does it mean? Why did it happen this way? Is there a lesson to be learned? A truth to be uncovered? In the end, the answer may lie not in the stories themselves, but in the questions they inspire. By seeking connections, by pondering the mysteries of fate and chance, we engage in a dialogue with history, a conversation that spans generations. We become participants in the grand narrative, adding our own stories to the tapestry. So the next time you encounter a coincidence, a chance meeting, a strange alignment, a historical echo, pause and consider its significance. Is it just a blip in the randomness of existence, or is it a moment of genuine synchronicity? Are you witnessing a fragment of the cosmic plan, a glimpse into the hidden architecture of reality? History, it turns out, is far stranger than we ever imagined. It is alive with mystery, with paradox, and with possibility. It challenges us to look beyond the surface, to question the nature of reality, and to seek meaning in the patterns that emerge. Whether we find answers or simply more questions, the journey is its own reward. Perhaps, in the end, the greatest coincidence of all is that we are here, together, pondering the mysteries of the past, searching for meaning in the echoes of history. And maybe, just maybe, that search is what gives life its deepest purpose. In the labyrinth of time, every thread matters. Every story, every coincidence, every echo has the potential to reveal something profound. So keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and your heart receptive. The universe may be speaking in a language too subtle for words, but clear enough for those willing to listen. History is not merely what happened, it is what we make of it, the patterns we see, the stories we tell, and the mysteries we choose to explore. And in those mysteries, perhaps, lies the key to understanding not only our past, but our place in the grand design of existence itself.